Alright, good morning everybody. It's Monday, August 3rd, 2026. Time to do another video for you guys. I know it's been a couple weeks since I put one on the tube. That was the one with the smoke from the Canadian wildfires. I tried to do one a few days later, but between not feeling good and then issues at the springs and issues at the delivery locations, I kind of got frustrated and aborted that video. So we're going to try again for you today. A little wet and gray to start the day, but it's supposed to clear off later on, get partly to mostly sunny. So we'll see how that goes. And we got 2 over to the airport, 1 to Reading, and we'll talk to you more about where we're going, what we're doing, how we're feeling, all that good stuff. But pre-trip's done, so we're getting ready to roll here in a few minutes. Alright, so it's time to make the donuts. I told you we'd get ready and to go in a few minutes, and we are leaving. And at least for the moment, we aren't going to make any dust in this parking lot because we've got about 1/2 to 3/4 inch of rain yesterday. Some places got a lot more. Up by Williamsport, they got 5.5 inches of rain, and a whole swath through central Pennsylvania got between 2 and 5 inches of rain. And then to the east, Allentown, Bethlehem, and on north into the Poconos got about 1 to 3 inches of rain, but we were kind of sandwiched in between the two rain zones, and we only ended up with about 1/2 inch, maybe a little bit more, like I said. But all much needed rain. As I've told you in the last few videos, we were almost in drought conditions, and the wells were slowing down because the water tables are down. So we need this kind of rain, and we don't need flooding rains. We need soaking rains. Now let's see, anybody coming? Nope, nobody coming. Kind of got to ease out of here. Just the dip there for drainage causes us to wheel slip a little bit when we come out the lot. So I always try to take it easy, getting going. Almost no way to avoid that wheel slip. I just try not to hammer on it until I get out here onto the level blacktop. So, oh, it looks like we got a little bit of a drizzle going on. I see spots on the window here. So, like I said, we're going to have a bit of a wet morning, maybe some intermittent drizzle, heavier rain, and then later on today it's supposed to stop and clear off and get, like I said, partly to mostly sunny. So we will see what happens, but we'll turn the camera off for now, talk to you when we get up there to this loading location, to the Red Barn, and see what we have there as far as trucks. Well, this sure isn't a fun way to start a new week. That drizzle that we had when we started out coming over here turned into a full-blown rain right at the moment. Might be what the TV meteorologist was saying about this morning, that this is when the actual front comes through and it'll be the last of our rain. But of course it hit right now. So I ran out to put my paperwork in the truck, and it's actually outright raining at the moment. I didn't look at radar yet to see where it's at and what it's doing, but yeah, it's full-blown actual raindrops, not a drizzly mist. So, but anyway, nobody was here, which is a good thing, because if you noticed in the last couple videos, this was quite the busy place when I come up here for my first load, but nobody was here, so I was able to get right on and hook up and start loading right away. So that's a good thing. I don't know if load number 2 is going to be the same way or not. Load number 3, we're going to get out at the Well in the Woods, as you know. When we go to Reading, it's where we get those. So we'll only have 2 out of here, so we'll see how the next one is when we get back. But we're loading up. We're going to try and stay dry here. Hopefully this is just a quick little shower, and then we'll be done. All right, so we are loaded and leaving. That little quick hitter rain shower is pretty much over. Still drizzling a little bit, but it was a brief little shower that we got, but it was right at the time when I was hooking up and doing my paperwork and stuff like that. So, but that was not the front. I looked at the radar, and there's another line of showers, no severe storms or anything like that coming, but another line of showers out to the west that has to come through, and that's what I believe will be the front. And it's not a cold front, it's not going to like drop temperatures 20-30 degrees like it does in the winter months, but it's just some kind of a front that clears everything out, and then the sun's supposed to come out later today like I told you guys. But nobody came while we were there, and the pressure was good. We were loading at 350 gallon a minute, so it was nothing like it was the last few weeks. So a good start to the day in that respect. Just the weather is kind of crappy at the moment, so we'll see how it goes later on today, but all we got to do now, go over the mountain, get down there, run across 22 to Airport Road, get off there by the airport, go back there, deliver this first one, and then repeat the process again for load number 2. So, as we crawl our way out of here, lost my train of thought. I guess we'll just talk to you somewhere en route. So it's be low top clouds, because when I looked at radar, there was hardly any rain around this area, and now we're like driving through a semi downpour here, as you can see. Kind of odd that, like I said, the only thing is if the clouds are low top, then the radar beam will skip over the top of them, and then you won't know that it's actually raining when it is. And that may be the case, that the clouds are just so low that the radar beam isn't picking up the actual rain that's falling out of the clouds. And so yeah, we're getting a pretty good little squall at the moment here coming down to the Nutripoli curve. You're going to be hit and miss. Not like we're going to be driving in heavy rain all day long. It's going to be hit and miss, but I'm seeing that's slowing down already. So it's just going to be one of those mornings, and like I said, the afternoon is supposed to get better, hopefully. We'll see. Alright, well, it looks like we're going to have a nice ride across 22 here. Actually, 2 different types of weather from one side of the Blue Mountain to the other. Up there, when we were loading, it was rainy and dark and misty and dreary. And I get down here, and there's breaks in the clouds, and sun's trying to poke through here and there, and traffic right now, well, it's 9:07, so we're kind of past rush hour, so traffic is moving along really nice down here. So this first load we should move pretty quick. The second one, when we come back out after we empty out, we might run into a little bit more of a traffic delay getting off Airport Road back on the 22. But yeah, it's pretty much wide open right now, so I'm liking this, and the fact that the weather kind of changed. I don't know if we're going to run back into that rain when we go up for the second load or not, but down here it's actually kind of nice. Coming up on Cedar Crest Boulevard here, we might hit a little bit heavier traffic when we get to MacArthur Road, 7th Street, but as it is right here, it's not bad, except we are slowing down a little bit for the merge, but there was no need to ride that left lane at the moment. You know, I sometimes do when the traffic is heavier and there's more cars coming out and more cars in this right lane, and I'll ride that left lane across, but right now it wasn't too bad. Maybe we'll get out there now for a while. 15th Street may be a little funky. Maybe. It'd be nice if it stayed like this the rest of the day and we didn't get any more rain. We need rain, don't get me wrong, we need rain, but we got a decent amount overnight and yesterday, and so it can hold off for a while. The rest of the week is supposed to be showery and rainy anyway, so I'll take a dry day now if we can get it. Now there's one coming up. Only one though. A lot of times there'll be a half dozen or more cars coming up that ramp, which is the reason why I usually like to just stay out here. It's kind of like I-95 in Connecticut, where you have a interchange every mile, and it just makes more sense to ride the middle lane through the whole state than to ride the right lane and have to either hit the brakes or move left and then move right and then move left and move right. You just cruise that middle lane right down through the state, and you kind of stay out of most of the conflict. Let's see what we got here. Now, looking at it from back here, there's a lot of cars getting on here. It's off of 145, and then you got a truck on the shoulder anyway, so it was kind of good that I was out here. Usually like to stay away from somebody parked on the shoulder. But now it looks like traffic gonna tighten up. You know, we're gonna have a bit harder of a time moving back over when we need to. There's a lot of cars that were coming down off of 145. Probably get a few coming off of Fulton Avenue here too, once we get over this hill. As, like I said, just rapid fire interchanges here. They aren't even a mile apart, really. 15th Street, 7th, and Fulton Avenue, probably about 2.5 miles between the three interchanges. Let's see how this goes. Maybe I can move right between this red Jeep and that black one up there. But then people are hitting their brakes, so I don't know, we're gonna slow down. So am I gonna be able to get right? Because the next exit will be our exit. All right, we were able to. Alright, so we're here unloading this first one. Went in and got our paperwork signed, had our sample taken for the week, and we're unloading. We're probably about halfway done. Staying dry. It's not raining at the moment. A little breezy, but it's not raining at the moment. So we'll see if we run into any more rain today or if we're kind of done with it. But so far, so good. We'll see how the second one goes, and then the third one. Going over to Reading isn't really a problem, and I don't think there's a lot of trucks out today for some reason, so we shouldn't get into any kind of clusters anywhere, hopefully. But yeah, we're unloading here and going good so far. Knock on wood. All right, so we are empty-ish and leaving, and the reason I say empty-ish is because we cannot completely empty out here. We used to come in the way we're going out right now, and we faced west instead of east when we were unloading, and that put the trailer on a downhill. And we used to be able to come really close to, if not totally emptying out when we unloaded here, but then they made this one way where you go in the other side, well, sort of one way. We got a car coming in here now. They want the trucks to go in over there by the loading docks and come out this way. That puts us on a downhill away from the unloading end of the truck, so it makes it harder to unload completely. So in this case, we got a little bit still left in the tank. I mean, it could only be 20, 30 gallons, I don't know, but so we close the valve up and then we'll run back north. Now in the winter time, that won't be possible. We'll have to sit and wait and try to drain all that residual out so we can leave the valve open. Because if you close them in the winter time, then you won't get them back open again. When it's empty. When it's loaded and you close it, the water against the plunger will keep it from freezing. But if you close it empty, that plunger will freeze and then you won't be able to open it again. So in the winter it changes things and we gotta sit there and let it drain completely out, because you can't run down the road with it running out the back. Even if we cap it, it'll run out the back, and then you'll either freeze up the road and make it dangerous for everybody else, or just you'll have people complaining about it because they don't know it's spring water in the tank. They think it's a hazmat and that you're leaking, and so then they get a little upset. But for now we can just close it and run back up there and get our second load. So that's what we're doing. And the other driver that's running this with us is he just told me that there was an accident up there at 309 by New Tripoli after you go around the curve and before you get to the mountain. There's a tractor trailer and a car, so I don't know if that'll still be there when we get there or if they'll have it cleared up. But looked at Google Maps and there is a bit of a delay that we might have to deal with if they don't have that cleaned up yet. But we are making our way out. You know the routine. We gotta go out through this industrial park, get ourselves out the airport road, back on 22 and all that stuff. So we'll just talk to you later on in the route. We'll show you where that accident was and see if it's still there, if they got it cleared up. All right, well, the accident scene is still here. Now, are we gonna get around this? Is anybody directing traffic? Are they gonna hold us up? Somebody should be, there should be like a flagman on either side. Let's see, yeah, there is one right by that fire truck. Is he gonna keep us rolling, or is he gonna stop somebody here? Let's hope they let me get through here and don't stop me. Looks like they are. Yep, they are letting me get through. Well, let's see what we figure. Let's see what this was. This is what the other driver warned me about. There's the big truck. He's over on that side of the road. They're hoisting that car up. Wonder how that happened. I wonder how that one happened. It didn't look like it was severe, but still, just gotta wonder who hit who. It looked like the truck hit the car, but what did the car do to cause it? Maybe. I mean, I don't know who was the actual cause of it, but trying to warn some of these people to slow down if I can. But yeah, you don't know who was the cause of it, but it looked like rear damage to the car and front damage to the truck. So I don't know. Well, I wasn't able to talk to you outside the truck. When I got here, nobody was here, but just as I was hooking up my hose, this guy to my left came in, and so I wasn't able to talk to you outside the truck, and I spent time talking to him anyway. So, but we're loaded, we're ready to roll down there with that second one, see if that accident's cleared up. Don't know if I'll show it to you, but we'll see if that accident's cleared up till I get there. Well, I don't know what happened. It is only 1:45 and traffic on this road is slowed down big time. Not sure what's going on, but I figured I'd just jump over here into this right lane because everything tightened up and got slow. Nice Mustang GT there on that rollback, but yeah, I don't know what happened. I mean, traffic was so good on that first load. It's only noon, not even noon. And it's almost like we're in rush hour traffic. So I'm not sure what the problem is on here on this particular load, but traffic isn't usually this problematic at this time of day. So something must be going on. I don't know, an oversized load, or if there's just somebody super scared to drive, or what the story is. But I mean, it could just be an excessive amount of traffic, but it's just a normal weekday. And like I said, it's in between the two rush hours, so it shouldn't be slowed down and jammed up this bad, but here we are. Now we're starting to finally move again. I mean, I don't know, maybe just a whole bunch of stuff came off MacArthur Road, 7th Street. But this road is so antiquated, it's not even funny. It was built in the mid-1950s, and it never expanded. And this was nothing but farmland out here. There are no houses, no industrial parks. This was like a bypass around Allentown, Bethlehem. Took US 22 traffic off of Tillman Street, Union Boulevard in the respective cities. And, well, the Lehigh Valley grew from what it was back then, almost 1 million people now, and expanded beyond the freeway here. So this is what you got, and the freeway was never expanded. This road should at least be 3 lanes each direction, and some parts of it could probably be 4 lanes each direction. So it's way outdated, super outdated. So you get traffic jam ups kind of any time of day, but still this is unusual for 11:45 a.m. All right, so we're here unloading this second one, and between my 2 and the other guy's loads, the silo is at 64,000 gallons. Now she thinks it'll run up to 72 before it shuts off, and then they would have to put me in manual mode to unload the rest of it. So if it goes up to 72, then I'll be able to unload the whole thing automatically. But if it only goes up to 68 and cuts off, then half this load's gonna have to go in there on manual mode, and then it may still get to the point where it shuts off and I'll have to dump off a little bit back by the sewer. So they're almost full, and they're not running spring right now. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see if I can get this thing empty by myself, or if I will need a little bit of their assistance flipping it over to manual to do it. Alright, well, we're rolling up 100 here. Got off 2278, and man, this couldn't have turned out to be a more beautiful day. Just like I told you this morning, the weatherman said that it was going to clear off and be partly to mostly sunny, and boy, they were sure right for a change, because this is gorgeous. What am I reading? 85 degrees. Partly cloudy, mostly sunny. You get the puffy clouds, and great visibility. The rain and the wind over the weekend really cleared out any of the haze. So we've got a different kind of air mass now that the front has cleared the area. Now, if you look at radar, it's still cloudy, overcast, and rainy over in New Jersey, but it cleared out here and just got flat out gorgeous. So we got one more load to do. As I told you, we had 2 to do over to the airport, and then we've got 1 to do over to Reading. So that's where we're heading right now. And I talked to the one driver that's running over there, and he said there's plenty of room for the water that I'll bring. So we shouldn't have a problem over there. Don't know if we'll have to wait on anybody loading at the well or not, but we shouldn't have a problem delivering it. There's plenty of room. So yeah, it's just a flat out gorgeous afternoon. All right, so we're here, and as I turned the corner, that guy was just backing on the pad. So we're probably gonna have to wait for him to load that 8 before we can start loading our 6. But at least he's in front of me and not behind me. I would rather have that, because I don't do this particular customer that often, and sometimes I feel like I'm in the way when I do run it, even though it's legitimate. I was dispatched on it, but you know, these guys run it every day, and I come out here once every 3 weeks to a month, and then I feel like I'm the intruder. So I would rather them just be in front of me instead of behind me. So, well, we're gonna back on and see if he's loading his own truck, or if he's preloading for the night shift partner that's gonna probably come on at 3 o'clock. I don't know if this guy's got one more load to run, or if he's done and he's gonna preload. If he's gonna preload, he may let me go first, actually. We'll see. So, but anyway, we are backing on here. And I'll let you know later on what's going to happen, but I don't know if I'll be able to talk to you outside like I had planned on doing. So he is actually preloading for the next shift's driver. So that guy don't come out till 3 o'clock. It's only 1:30 right now, so he told me to load ahead of him. He's going to sit and wait till I'm done before he loads that up. So that was good. And I would do the same thing if I was going to preload for the following shift and I got here at the same time as somebody else. That's exactly what I would do. Is I'd tell them to load first, then I would load mine because I'm going home anyway. So so that's what he did. So we're loading. I don't know when he's going to get out the truck. He's still sitting in the truck. So give me a minute to talk to you. So but we're loading up as we speak. Probably about 2,000 gallon in already because I had to finish up my paperwork in the truck, and then we'll be on our way. All right, so we are loaded, and I transferred the hose over to his truck, sanitized his fittings, and transferred the hose over to him after I was done loading. All he had to do was go in and start the pump. So he's good to go, and we're good to go, and everybody's good to go. 146. So it only took us about 15 minutes to load this thing. That's about the fastest load time I've ever had out here. Pressure must be up really good. So now let's see. Anything coming? Nothing coming either direction. Now we gotta go out this little country lane here to get back to 895. Make that left on that steepish hill and make our way out to Reading. Now we only have one going over there, and they've got room for it. Like I said, I talked to our other driver that's running it, and there is room for me. He said that there was less water in silo 2 than silo 1, so that's probably the one I'm gonna head for. Unless they put a lot of that stuff back in that corner and took away our maneuvering room, then I may go in the silo 1, because this guy's not coming back out. He's not going to put any pressure on me, and his partner doesn't come out till 3 o'clock, so there's going to be nobody behind me. The other guy that I talked to, he's still out. He's probably on his way back, so he won't put any pressure on me. So like I said, I'll probably go to number 2 unless there's a lot of stuff in the way, and then I will go to silo 1. But give her a little throttle to get up over this little hill here. It's short and sweet. Oh, here he comes now. He's probably going to give me a call here in a minute. It wouldn't surprise me if he doesn't ring my phone here. I actually should call him, but there isn't much in the way of signal here, so it might be a futile effort. But he doesn't know that the other guy's in there right now, so actually that'll delay this guy, so he won't actually be breathing down my throat either. And actually, the guy that just came in is a good friend, so even if he got there before I was done, he would never give me any crap, because he's a good friend. We talk multiple times per day. That's why I said he was probably going to give me a yell here since he passed me on the road, but maybe not because of the bad signal. Let's put this in performance mode, because we need everything we can to get out of here. Kill the grade gripper and nothing is coming, so we can actually... Oh no. See, it defaulted in the 4th gear again. God. I took it down 1. I should have took it down 2, but there was a car coming now the other way and I wanted to get out. So one thing I don't like about this truck, you're on a... the transmission is supposed to sense your weight and sense the grade that you're on and pick the appropriate gear. In that case, it would be either 1st or 2nd gear, but it always defaults into 4th. And as you saw, I had a hard time getting going, and then I dropped it back 1, but that other guy was coming from across the road, so I motioned him to go, and I was only in 3rd gear, and I still had a hard time pulling out of there. So it's supposed to be smart transmissions, but they're not necessarily smart when they don't pick the right gear to pull out on a grade in. All right, we timed this light perfectly this time. So we didn't have to stop here. As you know, I don't like stopping at that light. So this is the Reading customer we're going to, not the other one. We've got two of them down here, but I'm pretty much the only one that does the other one now. A lot of different drivers do these, or this one. Now, let's see. Lots of traffic coming. I don't know if I'm gonna make this light or not. The only way to make it is to sneak up in it. And what usually happens is that you have to go once the light starts to go red. Now, we got a brake after this black car here, so let's see what happens. Here we go. Here we go. It didn't change. It stayed green. All right, now nobody should be here. One driver will be coming in after me. The other driver is done for the day and going home. The one that you saw back there where we were loading, his partner isn't coming out for another half hour, so we should be good here. Take our pick, either silo. Like I said, I think as long as there is no the dumpster may still be there, but as long as there isn't a pile of junk and scrap metal and everything else like there was in the past, then I will go over to silo too. Still got to wiggle around a little bit to get it, but that way the other guy, if he gets here before I'm done, can just go to silo 1. Now let's just hope that they didn't transfer. Let's just hope they didn't transfer most of 1 into 2, and then I'm in trouble. Wait, there's no trailers up there. Wow. I'll be able to work this pretty easy. I think. I hope. Only the dumpster is there. If they get rid of that, then this will really be easy. Actually, it's not a dumpster, it's a container, but let's hope there's no scrap metal around it to pop a tire. That's the only thing now. And they used to back trailers in here. Let's see. See, now this makes it so much easier. Now it's just a matter of getting the trailer in the sweet spot so that the hose gets to it. There is a sweet spot to put it. I'll back up just to make sure she's straight and then pull forward to what looks like the sweet spot. Lay them a little close to the curb, but shouldn't hurt anything. You split the tandems with the corner of that concrete there. That's usually the sweet spot. It's a matter of judging it. All right, we're in, I hope. All right, so we're unloading. We did all the testing. That all came back good. Everything was in spec. Once we get that done, then we can start the pump and unload and finish up the paperwork and then turn that in along with a second sample. First load of the week comes out here. They want a microbial sample that we have to put in a separate sample cup, and after that, then you don't have to do that anymore. So all that's done. The water was good. We're unloading. Nobody's here yet, so we got the place all to ourselves. I forgot to do one thing. I forgot to empty out the beaker so that the other driver that comes doesn't have to do that because we've got to collect the sample with the beaker and then take it back to that building and do what we need to do. So I forgot to dump out the sample water in the beaker, so we're going to go do that for them, and then we're going to wait till we're unloaded, head back north, fuel it up, and park it and go home. All right, so we are empty. We're headed back, and like I told you there at the plant, you gotta stop and get fuel like we always do, and then we'll go back to the yard post-trip and all that stuff. But we are headed up 61 here. We already went through Leesport. We're heading up here to Shoemakersville. About to go past the Glengarry brick plant here. Quite a big operation they have in there. I don't know. I don't think that's their only plant in the country, but it's a pretty good plant. They make a lot of bricks over there. So I went in there a couple times with a dump truck, pick up crushed brick that went to landscape supply places. Oops, we gotta move over. Somebody broke down here. Yeah, I guess bricks that don't meet their quality control and they crush them up and sell them for landscape material. Probably like some kind of a mulch for flower beds. Instead of using wood mulch, maybe people use crushed brick. Get a nice red tone in their garden that doesn't fade in the sun. So, but yeah, I hauled a few loads out of there in the triaxle. Went to different places. So, but we're moving right along. Now this light up here is green, but will it stay green? Will it stay green? It's a 50-50 shot. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. You're gonna hope that it does. Hold that green, hold that green, hold that green. There we go, perfect. You know, I did back out of the throttle a little bit just in case it was gonna flip on me, but she held. But anyway, I don't know if we're going to talk to you anymore before we get back to the yard or not. We shall see what we encounter along the way. I did do a lot of video clips today. Some will make the cut, some won't. But if they all made the cut, it would probably be over an hour's worth of video today. And I probably owe you guys that for not putting one out for a couple weeks. But like I said, when I'm not feeling good, doing video is about the last thing that I really want to do. So do them when I can, when I feel good, when the weather's nice or interesting, and we got an interesting run, something different than the normal routine, whatever the case may be. But we try to do as many as we can for you. All right, so we're parked. We got the DEF, we got the fuel. We did our post trip over there after we put the DEF in the truck. All we got to do now is close out our paperwork and head on home. So what time is it? 4:15. So not a bad day. 8 a.m. to 4:15. So we got it done pretty good. Pretty good amount of time. Everything went the way it was supposed to go. Just rain in the morning, but that cleared off and we ended up with a beautiful day. So, but anyway, that's it for today. Hopefully I won't wait so long to do another video, but as I've said, it all depends on pretty much how I feel for the most part. I'm starting to learn to live with the abdominal pain and discomfort. The killer is the fatigue. When I have the fatigue, that's the rough one to work with, and then if I get both of them, then it's really rough. But as far as the abdominal pain, that one I'm starting to learn how to work around and work through, and just getting used to it, I guess. So, but anyway, we're done, and we'll talk to you in the next one.